Hey guys, this is Jonathan from Fitness for Freedom. Today we are going to show you how to eat less food by changing your container size. It's a scientific fact that when you eat or when you fill smaller containers to eat out of them, you will eat less food. Now, this example I'm about to show you today is actually one that I used personally, and I lost about 7 pounds in roughly a month using this exact strategy. So I used to take nuts in my lunch every day when I would go to work. Now, here's some nuts and here are the containers. Now, I used to take a container that was this size and I would fill it up, not all the way, but I would put, what I felt was like a comfortable amount in it. And then I decided, I wonder how many nuts are actually in that. So I took it out and I weighed it and I realized that after weighing it, I was eating roughly 84 grams of nuts. Now, if we look at the serving size on here, a serving is actually only 30 grams. So that's almost 3 servings of nuts just in this little container, which is close to, it'd be between 500 and 600 calories of food. So that's an extra 500 to 600 calories per day just in this little thing of nuts, which is hardly anything. So I went down to a smaller container. And when you fill up a smaller container, one, you can only maximally fill it up so much anyway, but even if you still don't fill it up quite all the way, you're going to eat it. So then I started eating out of this smaller container. And here we have, it's 67 grams. So that's a little bit over, just a little bit over 2 servings. So that gets us down to around just under 400 or about 400 calories. Okay, so that's what this little tiny small containers of cashews does, okay? So now, if we go to our last container here, which is the smallest one, and we fill it up all the way, which is the last one and the one that I use right now when I go out, okay? That gives us 42 grams. So even this little tiny container still gives us over 1 serving of nuts, which would probably be around 250 calories of cashews on a given day. So there's a couple of takeaways here, or a couple of things that I think you should really pay attention to as I go through this. One is I didn't just go from the big container to the smallest container. I bridged the gap a little bit by using a slightly smaller container in between. The other thing too is that you'll read a lot in research studies about the positive, healthy benefits of eating nuts. And how nuts have a lot of good fat in them. And that is true, except that if you're eating more than a handful of nuts per day, you're easily eating 200, 400, 600, maybe even 800 calories per day in nuts. So that's something that you should really think about and consider if you're making nuts one of your sources of fat and protein. Because if you're trying to lose weight, it might make more sense to cut back on that than on some of your other things. So that's just something that you should consider as you go through these changes yourself. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we deliver content just like it every week. If you have any comments or questions about using smaller container sizes, please leave them in the box below. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time.